Look at that. 1 million. Is this real? Is this real? 1 million crit. 1 million crit. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Immortal Gaming. This is me again, Marvin, and we're now here for another video for Ragnarok Origin. And this time, we're going to be talking about the sniper. At last, we have already uploaded the sniper guide. So for those of you who have been waiting for this guide, apologies. And of course, I hope that you would be helped by this guide. First and foremost, thank you to Sir Carlo Tavaranza or Blue Flame from Loki Guild in the KR server. As usual, thank you to MBGG for letting me connect with these OP players in this server. So let's start with the stats. Of course, the stats here is already, full of 99s, but we are still on the level 70s right now. So if you are on that 70s or 80s, you still have small stat points to allocate to your build. So we are going to concentrate now into the ADL build because we have already proven in the KR server and all of the other servers that the ADL damage surpasses a lot the Trapper build. So now we are going to be forming a build for the ADL. And we'll be tapping on the sharpshooting build later on into the game. So now let's just focus on the stats. For the stats, you have to pump up a lot of agility. Speed is king, particularly for our sniper, so you have to pump up a lot of it. So he has been, and I have been suggesting always that you go for a high agility. 90 agility is already good because we need a lot of points to increase our damage. So we will now be allocating the rest of the points to dexterity. So you might be asking me, what about luck? I thought it was ADL. Where's the L? Where's the luck? So for the luck, it's still very early for you to invest on luck. The only reason that you will be putting points on luck right now is for your Blitz Bit procs. And the Blitz Bit even procs, and the increase of the chances for it to proc is just minimal if you would be just putting 10 or 20 luck. So for that reason, we will now be pumping the rest of the points to dexterity. We will only be putting around 30 luck by the time that you have already achieved enough attack speed for your character and significantly increase the damage on the auto attacks and the skills of that sniper. So around level 90s or late 80s, that's the time that you go for the luck. Okay, so let's now go for the skills. For the skills, it's still going to be the same for Archer skill tree and for Hunter skill tree. The only difference is going to be our sniper because, in terms of the arrangement of the skill sets or the skill points, it's kind of distinguishable already which one is for the traps, which one is for the ADL. So we're now going to be talking about direct sniper skill tree. So first thing that you should be putting is 10 True Sight. This one gives a lot of value to your gameplay and increases your damage significantly. The next one would be the Sonic Shock, a Sonic Blast. This one is Sonic Blast in in the global server. So this one is an active skill. You may put it on your auto attack or not because it also has a passive. Every time 3 blitz bits have been triggered, the character will automatically cast a Sonic Blast. The Sonic Blast will be making the damage that you deal to that same monster ignore 25% of that monster's defense. So this is a very good debuff versus MVPs and versus other players. So this is really important. So Sonic Blast level 10. Number 3, we go for Arrow Training. Then the last 10 skill points will be going to Burst Crow. Okay, so that is for the skill. Let's now go to the Sharpshoot build. So if you're going for the Sharpshooter build, be sure always to check on this if you already have this in line. The first one is good cores. So we need a very good Vero score for you to be able to, make the sharpshooter build work. The second one is a good number of stats distributed to your character, to your dexterity, and to your luck. The last one would be enchants. Good enchants, sharp enchants are needed for this to work also. Because in terms of sharpshooter build, you need to one-hit the enemy. And considering the high amount of HP that we have in our monsters right now in global server, we have to, reformulate on how to use the sharpshooter build in our server properly. Okay, so if you are going for that, then 10 on sharpshooting in exchange for burst crow, because you won't be needing burst crow when you are already on a sharpshooter build. Okay, so now let's go to the crucial part, which is the gears. Okay, let's discuss about the gears. The first part would be the weapon. For the weapon on level 70s, it's going to be Ixun Wing. So many people would be, always asking which one is better, the crab bow for additional damage, crit damage, or Ixun Wing for higher attack speed. And you know already what I'm going to tell you, attack speed. Okay, speed is king, so you have to go for Ixun Wing. Same reason as to what I have already told you guys a while ago. You don't need that much increase in your crit damage yet, because you don't have 100% crit right now, and you cannot achieve it while having a very high attack speed. So most people would still be going, and I would also recommend for you to go for Ixun Wing. This one also increases your attack while increasing your attack speed. So it's already a win-win situation. Now, if you're gonna ask me when do we switch from the Ixun Wing to the crab bow, that's the time wherein you already have achieved enough attack speed for your character to reach close to 500 attack speed while it is on either buffs or no buffs. It's still up to you. If you are already, confident with your spending on your food and your buffs, then go for the crab bow. But if you are not that confident with all of your attack speed, then stick to Ixun Wing. Now, for the cards, damage modifier cards, element card, and for the late games, size cards like the Scale Worker card or the Minor's card. For those who would be asking me if Archer Skeleton card is good, it's going to be the cheapest long-term card that you would be using. Because if you are already equipping, Archer Skeleton card on your bow, you will never change it. In my opinion, that in a way is the cheapest, long-term investment. But one of your roles as a sniper is to dish out a lot of damage. And if you're going to be, reducing a lot of damage by just, putting one type of cards and not cycling through different types of cards, then why I don't see any reason for you being a sniper. So you have to snipe, you have to deal a lot of damage. Thus, I would still recommend the damage modifier cards. Okay, for the enchantment on level 70s, as what I've told you, it's still good to have legendary bow. But your end game priority is sharp. Okay, you need to increase your crit rate and your crit damage as much as possible, because it is also going to be benefiting you either way. If you are going for an ADL until the end, or you're going for a sharpshooter build until the end, it's still beneficial for you. Okay, next one would be attack speed. If you can put a lot of attack speed on your enchants, that would be better. Or agility, or even dexterity. Modification. For the modification, auto attack damage is king, the best. That is the best. And for the refine, you have to prioritize this as always. Okay, first priority. Next, let's go to the level 80. For the level 80, it's still Ixun Wing. For level 90, as what I've told you, if you can already feel that you can achieve a certain high amount of attack speed by this time, then go switch go ahead and switch to Malangbo. But on level 90, you will now juggle your decision between the Crab Bow or Yule's Determination. In our opinion, Yule's Determination is going to be the best for level 90. This one is really good for those who have already achieved a high luck and a high speed. So this one increases up to 50% your ranged physical damage, and in my opinion, that is a lot. So 50% in your ranged physical damage, and it is only requiring +6 refinement. But this one is going to be good when you already have that. Take note, you already have the basic stats of a sniper, which is attack speed and crit damage. Alright, so Yule's Determination is the best. If you're going for a sharpshooter build, then you would now stick to Malangbo. Okay, so now let's go to the armor. For the armor, of course, on level 70, Tights is still very popular because it's the only thing that you could equip while you are still on level 70. So Tights it is. On level 80, that's a time that you go for White Wing Suit. This one is obviously made for the snipers out there. It increases your crit and your range physical damage, so it's also good both ways. It's going to be the best for you. So White Wing set is the way to go on level 80s. On 90s, you can still follow up with the White Wing Suit, or you can now transition slowly to Goiben's Armor. If you're going to react, why Goiben's Armor? You are a damage dealer and you're a DPS. This is the reason. So on level 90, this is one of those times wherein you're going to be experiencing new dungeons. We will be now introduced to a new tower, which is the TOC and TON, and that is going to be Hell Mode. Every single time, that is going to be so hard that you would want for your character to become tanky. So one of those, glass cannon, the most glass cannon of all of the jobs out there is the sniper. So this would really help you if you transition now to Goiben's Armor or Goiben's set for your character to withstand all of those hard dungeons and even Glastheim MVPs. Either way, you're going to end up with it, okay? Because as you can see here in this character, he is still using the Goiben's Armor and still dishing out a lot of damage. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are on the Goiben's Armor, you would lose a lot of damage because he's still doing pretty much deadly damage. Now, going back to our cards, for the cards, it's the same as I always tell you guys. You need to concentrate on the armor cards in terms of your survivability. Same set of cards. You can start with Rocker card if you're still on a Rocker card, or a Peko Peko, or even a Cornutus card, or you can now jump directly to farming Argyop, Pasana, or Dokebi, and when the Glastheim comes and you still don't have Argyop card, you can now farm for Bathory card. Now for the enchants, of course, Sharp Battle is still the best, or you can include, if you want luck. For the modification, it's Dexterity and Incoming Magic Damage Reduction. For the refined priority, it's for your Resonance. For the garment, of course, the Mountain Ranger set is going to be the way for level 70. For level 80, it's still going to be part of the White Wing set, which is the White Wing Cloak, this one, or Mantu, okay? Then for the level 90s, that's the same. You can either go for White Wing Suit, or you can start transitioning to Goiben's set, okay? For level 100s and above, that's Goiben's set. For the cards, as usual, Jack card is also good, Isis card, and for the late game, Orc Baby or Raedric card. Now, for the enchant, it's going to be Benediction or Luck. Modification, it's Ignore Defense, so that you could ignore more defense and additional Dexterity. For the refine, it's also for Resonance. For the shoes, On level 70, it's still going to be part of the Mountain Ranger set, which is the Tidal Shoes. For level 80, that is going together with the White Wing set, which is the White Wing boots. And for level 90s, either White Wing boots or the Goiben's boots. Now, for the cards, it's also very important for you to include this in your survivability and at the same time a little bit of agility. So Materia card is very good for that. Mata card, or on level 90 plus, Regular card. Still Regular card if you don't want to get crit upon. So next, for the enchant, Stone Skin is okay, or Luck. For the modification, ignore defense, additional ignore defense or dexterity. For the refine, it's also for resonance. Let's now go to the accessories. For the accessories on level 65, it's still going to be Materia Leash. As what I've told you, you have to increase your attack speed. For the level 85, you can now go for Brooch this time, or if you have already achieved your wanted attack speed by this moment, you can now start with Marksman Gloves. So for level 95, this is very good. For level 95, it's going to be Cold Heart. Where's the Cold Heart? This one, okay? And Bandit's Ring, this one. Okay, what do they do together? Because as usual, on level 95 accessory, you have to pair them in order for you to create that set. So that set effect is going to be the sum of the smelting levels or the refining levels of the two pieces of equipment, the Cold Heart and the Bandit's Ring together, would be increasing your range physical damage by 1% every time that the total increases to +3. So if you have two accessories on +15, that would be a total of 30 refining. So that means you could increase your range attack damage by 10%. That's the maximum. Okay? So for the cards, of course, at the very beginning or at the early game, Orc Archer is still number 1, but take note, the Orc Archer card loses its role that much when the game progresses into the late game, because when your crits have already reached a very high number, it's going to be the same as the damage of your double strafe. So even if you have max starred, Orc Archer cards, procs of the double strafe would not, add that much of a difference in your DPS. So it's still better for you to focus on either Mantis, Zerum card. Zerum card is the best because it adds dexterity and at the same time it adds crit, or even Greatest General card if you have that one. For the enchant, the Legendary Bow is still good, as the same as your weapon on the early game or the level 70s, but on the as we progress into the late game, it's still better for you to get that sharp special enchant or couple it with attack speed, agility, or dexterity. There's no modification for accessories. For the refinement, I would suggest for you to refine it next to your weapon. So that is for our gears. Let's now go to the Vero scores. For the Vero scores, I really love, of course, I've already played a sniper and a hunter in the global server. The cores of the sniper and the hunters are the one set, of course, that I really love because everything is useful. There's no trash. So we just have to top it out or to rank it out which one is the best among those. So number 1, the best one is Momentum Management Module. That's the first one, the number 1. Number 2 is Falcon Mark, to increase your damage every time your Falcon hits the enemy. The third one is Eagle Focus, for you to have additional permanent, increase in your damage depending on how far you are from the enemy. The number 4, Core Overload. Every time that you see a character that requires a lot of attack speed, Core Overload is always going to be good on that character. Focused Mind, so that you could increase the stats that your improved concentration gives you. Number 6 is Energy Storm. It's optional. It's not that game-changing to have Energy Storm, but still, it's still DPS and physical damage DPS. And last would be the Double Strafe Boost. It's only for ADL, for those ADL users. It's not applicable if you go to the Sharpshooter build. So, next, for the Sharpshooter build, these are the things that you would most likely need. The first one is Steel Arrow Boost. That's the core that would be increasing the crit damage that you are dealing with your Sharpshooter build. The second one is Coprocessor Activation. So that is for the Verus core. Let's now go to leveling and grinding. As of now, we are leveling still in Nightmare and Jax. You could go with that, or you could start, or you could stay in Orc Archer, so that you would be farming at the same time, farming experience, and at the same time, there's a chance for you to get that Orc Archer card. You can go for Argyop for, you know, same reason, hitting 2 birds in 1 stone. And you could also go start farming on Petites and on Stem Worm. Okay? So for the level 80s or 90s, that's the time that they would be releasing the Glass Time. So we will now focus on Alice. We will now focus on other monsters. But we still don't have the data on how high their HP is going to be. So we still have to test it on. Okay? So, okay, of course, we won't be ending this video without the damage test. So are you excited? Let's go. Let's try the damage test right now. Okay, attention, concentrate. Okay, let's go. Look at that. 1 million. Is this real? Is this real? 1 million crit. 1 million crit. 1 million crit. Holy shit. What is this? It's already 200 million. 200 million in 30 seconds. 200 million in 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. A lot of Sonic Blast. So it really does that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I really love it. Oh, you don't even see the Falcon. It's always flying and damaging the enemy. Okay, let's try it. MVP. Let's try Orc Lord. Yeah, let's try Orc Lord. Okay, let's go. Okay, look at the HP. Look at the HP. Well, anyway, did you enjoy that? Anyway, I do hope that this guide has helped you. Thank you so much for watching this, and the Lord Knight is coming up. Please wait for that one. Thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. If you happen to like this video, please do leave a like, share this to your friends, and click that bell notification button so you get notified every time I upload a new video, start a new stream, or a new content. That's it. See you again on the next video. Bye-bye! 'Cause now I found you.